How's it guys, this is Dayvy FPL and welcome back to another video on my channel. Now this video is going to be a little bit of a different one. I'm bringing you the ultimate guide to the double and blank game weeks. I thought as a little bit of a special video for Valentine's Day to show my love for the support you guys have been giving me, I would release this video and it's been highly requested, so without further ado, let's get into it. Now firstly, I know some of you are veteran players of Fantasy Premier League, but a couple of you guys might be new, so I'm just going to talk about what a blank game week is and then what a double game week is. A blank game week is a game week where fixtures are postponed due to commitments to other competitions. Rarely they are due to weather, but that is also one of the possibilities. But in the current season, it's probably going to be due to the FA Cup fixtures, especially the round 5 or the round 6s and 7s. And then a double game week is a consequence of a blank game week, and this is where teams play multiple fixtures, usually 2. In FPL history, there has been a triple game week, but that is very rare, as I said. Now, before we get into the video, there's just 2 things that you guys must know. One is follow Ben Krellin on Twitter. He's the double game week and blank game week guru, and I really recommend following him as he brings you up-to-date information when it's released. And he always brings these possibilities. He has a very good Google Excel spreadsheet that describes the game weeks, and it goes quite in depth. So definitely pop him a follow, and also give me a follow while you're at it. I will also be bringing you updates, probably a little bit simpler ones, but I'll also be bringing you updates about the double game weeks and blank game weeks. Now this is just the schedule of the blank game weeks and the double game weeks remaining for the season. Now, disclaimer, these are not final. Nothing has been confirmed right now except for game week 27, but these are the probable double game week and blank game week fixtures. The blank game weeks are a little bit more confirmed due to the actual FA Cup fixtures taking place on those weekends and weekdays, but then the double game weeks, they are not final. They are just the probable fixtures that the blank game week fixtures will be moved towards. Then we also have this Chelsea-Brighton game week. It's going to be a double game week with that fixture. Now, that has not been confirmed at all. Hopefully it was meant to be on game week 25, but due to Brighton having a replay in the FA Cup, that game still hasn't not been moved yet. So I'm kind of expecting it to be maybe towards the end of the season a little bit. But as we said, there's been no confirmation of that. So just keep that in mind. You can't really do much in terms of transfers or anything, as you never know when it's going to come up. So, but it is something to keep in mind. Obviously, Chelsea don't look in great form at the moment, but towards the end of the season, maybe they'll pick up some form, and then that will be a very attractive double game week. So in terms of the main double game weeks and the blank game weeks, we have game week 27, which is coming up this current game week. I'm not going to be talking too much about that, as I will be addressing it in my game week 27 preview. So in terms of the other blanks and doubles, between game week 27 and 31, there are 3 game weeks. So that means about 4 transfers that you're going to be saving up in terms of the free transfers to prepare yourself for the game week 31 blank. After the game week 31 blank, we have a nice double game week in game week 32, followed by another blank game week in 33. Then in between 33 and 35, we have game week 34, which is just the normal game week. And then game week 35 is the double game week. That could be the last one, could be the second last one. We don't really know at this point. So in terms of the FA Cup fixtures that are causing these blanks, especially in game week 31, the fixtures for the Premier League teams, there are, I think, 2 other fixtures involving Championship and League One teams, but I'm not going to cover that as that has nothing to do with the Fantasy Premier League. So the first fixture is Watford against QPR. Then we have Brighton versus Derby County. Then Newport against Man City. And then Bristol City versus Wolves. Doncaster Rovers versus Crystal Palace. And then finally Chelsea versus Manchester United. So what I've kind of done is I've selected the Premier League teams to win the fixture. I'm basically doing this to give me a rough estimate of what teams are going to blank in game week 31. The notable one at the bottom is Chelsea vs Man United. The reason I have picked Chelsea vs Man United, as you'll see in the upcoming fixtures, is that Man United play Man City. So it wouldn't really help me picking Man United in this game, as there's going to be a blank anyway if Man City win. So I've just opted for Chelsea to win this fixture. as it will kind of give us an increased amount of blanks and therefore more to look at for that blank game week. So as I said before, I've gone for Watford, Brighton, Man City, Wolves, Crystal Palace and Chelsea to win and therefore blank in game week 31. So if we go to game week 31, these are the fixtures that will be blanked. As you can see, we have Manchester United versus Man City, which is pretty much a confirmed blank in my eyes. I do think that Man City will win their game and therefore definitely blank. So even if Man United do win against Chelsea, it's going to be a blank fixture. So then we have Brighton versus Cardiff, Watford versus Southampton, Wolves versus Arsenal, Tottenham versus Crystal Palace, and Everton versus Chelsea. Now if I look at these fixtures, obviously the big names are kind of the ones that stick out, which are Chelsea, Spurs, Arsenal, Man City, and Man United. So a lot of us currently have those players in our teams. I can think of the likes of maybe Son or Aguero, Sterling, maybe even Aubameyang, and then Hazard and Alonso. I don't think the Chelsea assets are going to be that highly owned with the upcoming blank, but definitely the Manchester United and Man City players are going to be on high demand currently, so they're going to be in a lot of people's teams. So that's just one thing to take a look at when making transfers up until that point. Now, as I said, I'm only going to be looking at the game week 31 blanks, but you can kind of predict the game week 33 blanks by yourself. So basically what you should do is, because there's about 6 teams of the Premier League teams performing in the round 5, that means that probably about half of them are going to be matched up against each other in the next round. So we can expect about 3 or 2 blanks in that game week. So not that many blanks will occur, but a couple will. Now I'm just going to go on to a little bit of an overview of the chips and how to use them for the upcoming game weeks. So the first one's the wild card, which allows you to make unlimited transfers and then your team is permanent. Then we have the free hit, which you can make unlimited transfers for that current game week and the team goes back to normal the next game week. So that means if you played your free hit in game week 2, in game week 3 you will have your game week 1 team back. Then we have the triple captain, which your captain's points are tripled instead of doubled, and then your bench boost, where the points on your bench are added to your game week score. Now I'm just going to be giving you a little bit of an overview of the strategies that I'm currently looking at. When I say myself, I do have all the chips in place, so I can use them to my will and at any time and game week that I desire. So I'm just going to give you the game week preview again. As you can see there, this kind of gives you an overview of when the blanks and how much time you're going to be having between those fixtures. So right now, with my plan in mind, I'm going to be removing the Chelsea-Brighton double game week as we have no confirmation of it and I really do not know where it's going to be taking place. So that's going to be one of those game weeks where it's going to pop up and I'll be trying to bank a transfer and maybe bringing in 2 Chelsea players per se. So in terms of the first strategy that I'm kind of looking at, I'm looking at free hitting in game week 31, triple captaining in game week 32, using my wild card in game week 34, and then bench boosting in game week 35. The reason I've kind of gone for this fixture and this fixture set out for my chips is that it's the conventional way that I've always played FPL. So I always free it in a blank game week, as I feel that you're gonna get the most out of your free hit chip using it in a blank game week, and then using my triple captain and bench boost in the double game weeks. I wildcard in game week 34 as this allows me to get a full lineup of bench players and my starting 11 and then preparing myself for the bench boost in game week 35. Now, the reason for the free hit, as I said, is the blank game week, and the reason I've used it in game week 31 is that's when the most blanks are going to occur. So to me, it seems more profitable to use it in game week 31 as there's more fixtures to avoid, and therefore I will have less transfers to prepare for it and more transfers to prepare for game week 33. As you see, there's 3 game weeks before game week 31, so you can use those transfers to prepare for game week 33. The next strategy that I'm looking at currently is using the free hits in game week 32, using my wild card in game week 34, and then using my bench boost in 35, and then using the triple captain whenever I can. So that will either be the double game week of Chelsea-Brighton or just using it in a single game week on a player. The reason this game week plan is quite nice, is that I use the free hit in the double game week. So basically what you can do is you can prepare for those blanks using your transfers and then have no worries about the double game week, as you'll be free hitting in that. The only disadvantage I find to this strategy is that I will not be using the triple captain or the bench boost, depending on which one I swap in and out. I'll be not using that chip in a double game week, and I do not like that. However, this strategy does allow me to prepare quite nicely for the blanks and then get a full team for the double game week in 32. Now these are just going to be some guidelines for you guys who have all your chips or maybe not have all your chips, but just how you can maybe use them in terms of your strategy. So for the bench boost and the triple captain, I always like to use them in a double game week. So that can be your guideline when using these chips. And then in a free hit, you can either use it in a double or a blank game week. I usually prefer using it in a blank game week, but the double game week strategy kind of looks like a very popular one in this season. Then for your wild card, I either like to use it as a preparation for your bench boost or using it on a double game week to get that fresh squad in. So in terms of strategies that I've heard a lot of people ask is if you don't have your free hit or you don't have your wild card. So the most important tip I can give you for this is use your free transfers to prepare for the blanks. Now, if you look at this setup, those 3 blank game weeks, or those 3 game weeks that occur between game week 27 and 31, you're going to have to use all your transfers to prepare for game week 31. Then what I would do is I would use transfers to bring in double game week players, so game week 32 players, and I would keep a full bench of double game week players in game week 31 to prepare for the double game week that occurs in 32. And then what you can do is you can transfer maybe some of those players out, as the game week 31 blank will be a lot bigger than the game week 33 blank. So you will already have gotten rid of some of those players, so you can bring in some new ones that aren't going to blank in 33 for the double game week in 32. It's quite a confusing strategy, I know. That's why the chips kind of simplify it a little bit, but the double game weeks and the blank game weeks are very easy to navigate. You don't have to stress about not having all your chips if you've played them early in the season. You just have to kind of take every game week as it comes, but then also look a little bit into the future. So that's just one of the disadvantages of maybe using your chips earlier on, is you're going to have a little bit more of a hindsight than the players with all their chips. So then lastly, I just want to say thank you guys for 3,000 subscribers. I really appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. The Game Week 27 preview will be coming out next week, and I'm really looking forward to it, and looking forward to the comments that you guys are going to be dropping down below. So please leave me any comments. I know a lot of them are going to be kind of what strategies you should use for your team. I will try and answer them as diplomatically as possible. And even if you have questions for Game Week 27, you can ask them. However, I will be doing the preview next week, so stay tuned for that. Otherwise, please like the video, and as I said, subscribe if you're looking forward to more FPL content from me. Otherwise, this has been Dayvy FPL, and I'm out. Cheers, bye.